at the time, Moped lived up the street from Aisha, right? So I used to be there all the time, like every day. So they all smoked. I was the only one who didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I wasn't part of that life. So I would always go upstairs. Like, I just let them all hang out because there used to be mad niggas. Mad people hanging at the table. So I just never thought, okay, whatever. Because my friend's there, so she'll watch. Like, if girls come, she'll, oh yeah, there's a bitch there, whatever. But then I started kind of peeping. She'll get really emotional when it's my baby daddy. Like, if somebody... Hi guys, this is another story time, baby. So, alright. Hi, my name is Tasha. Let me introduce myself first. Hi, my name is Tasha. I do have another channel called Tasha Society where I do hair, beauty, mostly hair over there. And I do have another channel called Tasha Reacts where I do reactions, baby. Check me out, baby. So this is another story time. Alright, girl. So this story is basically, I am going to explain the dynamic of how I caught my friend sleeping with my baby daddy. Okay? So, baby... Ooh, child. Alright, so I'm gonna explain the time frame. So if I'm gonna explain how I met this friend and how it went down, because baby, I have to just explain like little stories and whatever, right? Because I'm getting older and a lot of the things in my brain I don't remember. Alright, so at the time I was dating my baby daddy, Moped. At the time, he was not my baby daddy. I met Moped. If you read the previous story time, I'm just gonna fast forward it. Moped, I was dating my ex-boyfriend, motivation, and I end up like not working out. He started getting older, you know, the whole story time, check it out. It's probably 2 stories before it, but he ended up like not feeling me no more. You know, he was like going to college now and I still was in high school, so he wasn't vibing with me no more. So, you know, and I think I'm gonna explain the whole dynamic of how I think I have some of the stories of how motivation ended up, I can't remember, but motivation and I end up dating. Motivation end up sleeping with his best friend. I end up sleeping with his cousin. Don't worry about it, right? And then we end up going our separate ways, right? But motivation found out about his cousin later, and I think I'll explain that story too, right? So when me and motivation was dating, so we still was acting like boyfriend and girlfriend, but you know, it was kind of done. Like, we both knew it was done. It was like over. We were still, because we still cared for each other. It was like motivation kept me around because he knew like I really cared for him and I would not go nowhere. And I think I go through that with every guy I date. Like, I'll stick around for a little bit until I hate you. So I am, if you don't know, I am a Leo. People who don't believe in signs, I am born in the month of August. So I am a type of person like, when I love you, I love you. Baby, I will give you the shirt off my back. But baby, if we break up and you give me a time frame of 3, 4, 5 months, in my mind, I will never go back. Like, because it's like in my mind, I had a funeral for you, right? And then I start thinking crazy things. So I be making up shit in my mind. Like, oh, he probably sleeping with another girl. And baby, we break up, right? So motivation was always around. Motivation was around my life until my daughter was born. No lie. Probably after. Motivation was still in my life after my daughter was born, but like probably my baby daddy number 2, he kind of like drifted off, right? Because he started living his life for real. I started living my life for real, and I was like really like obsessed with my baby daddy number 2. And we'll explain that story. I have to find a name for him. I'll probably call him Scammer. Yeah. So all right. So at the time we're hanging out. I'm hanging out with heavy. You know what I'm saying? I'm always with motivation, whatever, but now it's starting to dwindle away. So motivation is now hanging out with people that's more his age. He's out of high school. He has more freedom. He bought himself a little car. So now everybody, you know, people use you. So he's driving around. So he's kind of like treating me kind of bad, right? Cause now he's starting to meet women with body yaddy, and that's my baby daddy. Motivation was tall. Motivation was like the perfect man. He was tall. He had nice teeth. Motivation was very handsome. You know what I'm saying? So Motivation was funny. He had the personality. He was just, that's what I said. I don't like friendly men because Motivation was too friendly, right? So Motivation ended up doing his own thing, whatever. So I end up meeting my baby daddy while going to Motivation's house. Baby just hop in the car, baby, like, come on, Domino's, baby. And then he dropped me off at Motivation. So I was about to pretend Motivation was my cousin. So my baby daddy at the time, Moped, well, I just call him Moped because he wasn't my baby daddy yet. Moped and I, we used to kind of hang out like heavy. Like I was with Moped all the time. We was always together, right? So no, in the beginning when Moped tried to get with me, well, I'm lying. When the beginning when Moped tried to get with me, I did not like Moped. Like, cause I was still on Motivation. I kept saying, you know, I can't have sex with nobody. I can't date with nobody because Motivation. What if Motivation changes his mind? And cause I'm telling you, I was obsessed with Motivation, right? Well, Motivation didn't change his mind. Motivation came here and there, had sex with me, and left, and kind of whatever, right? So it became like I was very depressed, right? So then one day we was at school. So now I'm really kind of feeling myself because now I'm starting to get attention. You know what I'm saying? People are really trying to, like, high school, like my senior year. So now people are really feeling me because now everybody's here and Tasha's not fucking with Motivation no more. Yo, I'm feeling you, right? So, and I'm like, whatever, right? So during the school year, I was dating this dude named Johnny, which was my friend. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'll explain that. I was kind of fucked up with Johnny's situation. And I always want to apologize to that girl, man. Because we was cool. Like, and I did her wrong. Sometimes you gotta take it. But, yeah. So Johnny ended up saying that he liked me. So I dated Johnny for a little bit. We didn't date long because this is when Crazy Tasha was coming out. So I cussed out Johnny. And Johnny was like... Absolutely not, but we stayed friends forever. Johnny's married now with a baby. You know, he went half on a baby married. You know, he looked very happy, you know what I'm saying, doing the daddy life. But Johnny was my nigga. Like, Johnny was my homeboy. Like, yo, even after we kind of like broke up, like, we still like vibed like for years. Actually, we kind of messed around for a long time. Me and Johnny be hanging out. We just like, it be like, we don't hang out for that long. And then we're like, you want to have sex? Okay, sure. Baby, our sex was sexing. Like, great. But then we'll just act like nothing happened. Like, yeah, like we're friends again. So I told Johnny, we're the definition of friends that people always go. Like, me, if Johnny's dating, I could not be friends with Johnny. You know what I'm saying? If I'm dating, I could not be friends with Johnny. So Johnny and I used to have like issues because in the beginning he used to feel away like, oh, you know, how you might, I feel like I'm always your friend, but you're not my friend. But the thing about it is, I used to tell him, like, if I'm dating someone, I can't be cool with you, bro. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me. And I know a lot of guys get mad at me like that because they feel like I use them. But I feel like if I'm dating a guy, like, for example, like I'm dating the person I'm dating now, I have to drop every nigga I'm cool with because most of them, we had history together, you know what I mean? Yeah, we still cool, but baby, I don't know. It's just like, I'll drop you. Only if it's like, only the beginning and nothing serious. But if it's like, I'm serious with you, I will drop you for him. So, we end up, so after, okay, whatever. I jumped. So, alright, so then we used to skip school. So this is our senior year. So this is when I started skipping school heavy. I don't know why. Skipping school to do nothing. We're skipping school. Where we going? I don't know. So I started chilling mad hard with, I don't know her name, but I think her name is Dimples. Dimples and me started becoming mad cool, right? So me and Dimples was hanging out all the time. So one day we skipped school. I'm like, girl, we ain't got nothing to do. We're going to the mall. We're going downtown. It gets boring. And I'm like, yo, there's this dude named whatever. And I didn't remember his name. Because he kept calling me like, hey, sweetheart, every day. Like, on my body. Like, yo, hey, sweetheart, how you doing, sweetheart? How you doing, sweetheart? I'm like, yo, I'm not feeling him. You know what I'm saying? But I said, you know what? Let me just get him off my body. Let's go see him. Baby, don't ever do it. Let's go. Don't ever do it. So then me and Dimples end up going over there. And it was so much fun, baby. It was like a vibe. It was because it was so much different men there, different personalities, different people. There was no girls. It was just a lot of men. And it was like a lot, right? And what I liked about Moped at the time, he was very protective of me. Like, nobody could talk to me. Nobody could touch me. Like, he would not play like, hey, sweetheart, sweetheart. He was very like on me, right? So, you know, at the time, so okay. So we end up hanging out. We end up getting like, because at the time I was working at Stop and Shop, that was like my, orientation time, like probation area. So we end up going, so I end up getting fired, and then Dimples end up staying at the job because she worked there, but because we was considered no call, no show. But I did call, but they said because I'm in the probation area, I have to come in. Bro, I go to school. I'm like, no, I'm not coming. So both of us didn't come, right? So they ended up hiring me. I was like, all right, cool. I didn't care. I was like, all right, okay, because it was in the ghetto. Like, the ghetto. Baby, we was getting cussed out all the time, baby. I'm like, yo, I'm all new. I'm trying to do cashier, but he's yelling at me. But I ended up having a new job right after. I ended up working at Shaw's and Dedham, which was my vibe. Like, that was my, like, I was just bad at work, okay? Yeah, so we ended up hanging out. So, what happened? Okay, yeah, so we end up hanging out. So then we're all over there. It's a whole bunch of men. It was just mad fun. So that started becoming the regular. So now everybody started chilling at my baby daddy's crib, because my baby daddy had like kind of his, like, he was in his mom's house, but it was kind of the basement. So Moped was in the basement. So the basement was the spot. So all my friends started coming, because they're girls, men happy, and these are men, and he had some fine looking men. They weren't ugly guys. There was some of them that were the cutest, but they weren't like hideous dudes. Like, no lie, my baby daddy had some very handsome friends, right? So we all started kind of hanging there. So now my baby daddy started becoming my man, right? So my baby daddy, and I told you, that's the only guy, I ain't gonna lie, that was very protective of me. Like, if I'm in the room, nobody's coming in the room if I'm there. He's like, my girl's in there. Like, he didn't play with me. He didn't play. Like, and that's what I respected about him. Like, if you need something about what you need in there, Tasha's in there now, y'all gonna, whatever, like, I'll go get it. She's sleeping. Like, and I used to love that about him. He'll call me. He'll be like, hey, yo, that's what I don't let guys call me boo, because he's the only guy who call me boo. He'll be like, hey, yo, boo, you hungry? You need something to eat? You need whatever? Like, I was always good. If he's leaving, I was always a priority. He made sure I eat. He called me all the time, and that was forever. Even when he was cheating, like, my baby daddy, I was always the priority, right? So we end up chilling hard, heavy, okay? So at the time, my baby daddy, I probably think he started having problems with his mother, because now I'm coming heavy. His mother was the type of person, like, she'll get jealous when she sees girls. Like, she would act like her son is her boyfriend. So so at the time I used to come a lot, like, whatever. Then something happened in the basement, so we ended up going upstairs in his mom's house, and I used to be there heavy, you know what I mean? Like, I was obsessed with my baby daddy at the time. So I used to be there with him all the time, like morning night. Like, he'll leave me in the house, but he'll be fine, you'll be fine. And it was mad weird, because his mom was mean. Like, she'll bang on the door, I told you not to have bitches in my house, those type of moms, whatever. So then he ended up moving with his friend, I'll call him Dread, right? He ended up hanging out with his friend Dread. So Dread girlfriend, her name was, I'll just say Marilyn, because that's her name, bro. Marilyn, he was dating a girl named Marilyn. Marilyn lost custody of her son, so she had an extra room. So Dread ended up living with Marilyn, and he ended up renting the room to my baby daddy. So that was when, like, life was popping. So my baby daddy now, that's when my baby daddy kind of started switching up on me a little bit. Because low-key, my baby daddy was a hoe, okay? And people used to like my baby. He was a small man. He wasn't tall. He was a mini man, wished death upon me. He was a little guy. And he used to get a lot of attention because his personality. My baby daddy was like, he had such a good heart. Like, Moped had, like, a great heart, you know what I mean? So he's the type of person, like, a lot of girls would gravitate to, because he was funny, he always had the personality, and he was smooth with it. My baby daddy was, like, smooth with it, but he was too friendly for me, nigga. That's the only problem I had with my baby daddy. He was just too friendly. So he'll be like, he's like my voice. Like, if I don't feel something, he'll be like, oh, you're not comfortable? She's not comfortable. Like, that's the only thing I like about my baby daddy. My baby daddy was kind of a manly man. He was a man. He's small, but he was a man, you know? So we end up, like, hanging out. So now we moved from my baby daddy's house to now we're living with Dread, right? So this was the second house, because he ended up, first he lived at, no, that was the second house. So this is the third house, because he lived at his mom's basement. Then he moved, then he ended up living in the street in Dorchester. That's the story. I don't know if I have it on my timeline when one of the, like, nah, I can't say what it is, the story, but it's on my timeline. So we end up moving to that house, and then we end up living Yeah, so he ended up living there. So now this is when my baby daddy kind of started switching, right? So my baby daddy's starting to get bodies, okay? So my dad, and I told you, no shit, I kind of upgraded my baby daddy gear wise, all right? So my baby daddy's starting to feel himself. He's jeweled up now, you know, and now he's getting attention. So at the time, me and Drama was like this. So me and, not Drama, Keisha, right? I think she was Aisha. So yeah, Keisha. So so Aisha and Keisha, remember I told you they met together. So Keisha was the girl with the night. So Keisha started chilling heavy. So Keisha and I are kind of the same, right? We have the same personality, we act the same, we think the same, we're overthinkers, we're, you know, whatever. So Keisha ended up messing with Dread already. So Keisha and Dread used to mess around before. Yeah, so they messed around before. So then Dread and Keisha messed around, whatever. So I never thought nothing of it, because the fact that Dread and Keisha messed around together, I never thought like she would mess with my man, because the fact that at the time you know, she had a bad reputation in high school, but I didn't think she would ever do it to me, even though she did it to Aisha, you know what I mean? So, you know, so I kind of trusted her a lot. Like, she was one of the friends that I was really close to. I would never think like she would do, like, cross me, right? So we started all kind of like hanging out heavy, right? So now, mind you, at the time, Moped lived up the street from Aisha, right? So I used to be there all the time, like every day. So they all smoked. I was the only one who didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I wasn't part of that life. So I would always go upstairs. Like, I just let them all hang out, because there used to be mad niggas. Mad people hanging at the table. So I just never thought, okay, whatever. Because my friend's there, so she'll watch. Like, if girls come, she'll, oh yeah, there's a bitch there, whatever. But then I started kind of peeping. She'll get really emotional when it's my baby daddy. Like, if somebody, like a girl come, or a girl comes, oh, who's that bitch that called him? Or da, da, da. Like, she'll be more angry than me, because, you know, I'm crazy for real, but she like used to get really mad. Like, you would think the roles were reversed, right? So one day I'm downstairs and I'm all like, you know, I'm chilling. So I used to work at Shaw's. Yeah, Shaw's. So I used to hang out with one of the dudes Aisha used to fuck with. We used to work with, whatever. So Aisha used to mess with this dude, right? I call him Zoe. She used to mess with this dude Zoe. So everybody liked Zoe. Zoe was known for his package. Like, every girl who messed with Zoe always talk about, like, you know, that's why the girls used to be crazy for him, because like I heard he could bang bang, chicka bang bang, like your lifestyle. So I end up coincidentally working with Zoe. So Zoe was like, yo, what up? Because at first he didn't know who I was, right? Zoe likes everybody. So if you feel like he's trying to holler at you, don't be flattered. He like everybody, right? So he's trying to like talk to me like, oh, what's up? How you been? And I said, dog, you don't know me? He like, no. I said, I am Aisha's friend. I'm Keisha's friend. He's like, oh, what's up? So, like, what's up with her? She ain't my girl. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, he had a girl, bro. So, she was, mind you, she still was messing with Zoe too, right? And she was messing with Teeth. If you guys don't know this, so you gotta check out. She was messing with Teeth still. So she was still messing with Teeth. She was still messing with Zoe. And she was messing with, a Snitch, right? Mind you, okay? So all this time frame, she's effing all these dudes, right? I'm telling you, she was a different level, dog. I ain't gonna lie, though. She was a player on the player. So, so she ended up like doing her thing, whatever, right? So, you know, so me and him we end up working, whatever, together. So one day, I remember, okay, so I went to work, whatever, and I'm hanging out with Zoe, and I'm kind of excited. And Zoe kind of was the one who told me, like, yo, be careful with Shorty. She ain't really your friend for real. And I'm like, why you say that? He's like, because, yo, she be like effing people's mans. He told me that. I was like, yeah, no, but she would never do that to me. She would never do that to me. He's like, okay, whatever, right? So, we end up, whatever. So I'm going to work a lot. So now I'm working for real. I'm working a lot. Now, because I enjoyed that job. And my boss was mad cool. And they were mad lenient with me for real. Like, they really were. They were like really, really nice to me for some reason. Like, I got away with murder. Like, my boss's name was John, and he was, like, mad lenient with me. He did not play. He did not let me do no heavy labor. He did not. You would think I was one of his kids. Like, he was very, very, like, empathetic with me and this girl named Shirley that we worked together, right? So we used to have a lot of fun, right? So what we used to be like, because I worked the a la carte and then the deli, so we were all in one strip. Mind you, there was like mad dudes, like, yo, that's why they probably kept pacing back and forth, because we really didn't work for real. We used to get in trouble all the time. Well, he did. Zoe used to, because he used to always like, I'll go in the freezer, he'll try to trap us in the freezer. I'm like, yo, bro, get out, go away from me, I'll fight you for real. But it was mad fun. We had mad fun over there, right? So then, so Zoe kept saying it like, yo, because I kept asking advice about my baby daddy, because my baby daddy was a bad, my baby daddy, he was a cheater. I ain't gonna lie. You know how many girls I had to call, confront, whatever, and he'd be like, yo, boo, like, and the crazy thing is, Moped was such a cheater, and he used to give me his password, he gave me everything. Yo, that dude just did not care. On his phone, I was called like my wife. Nigga, you did not care. Baby, that's why I told people, I don't care if you give me your password or whatever, they still cheat. I had the voicemail password, everything. He gave me everything. I had his email, I had everything back in the day. Still cheated on me, compulsively cheated, right? So I used to ask like the dudes for advice, whatever, about him, whatever. And the guys were like, yo, just leave him, you deserve better, you know, guys, whatever. So that one day, so I mean, like, we used to chill like heavy. So one day I go over there again and I'm like chilling. So she comes through the next tell and she's like, because that's how long, and she's like, what's up? And he's like, oh, yo, what's up? He's like, I'm not doing that. I'm here chilling with Tasha. And she's like, oh, you're chilling with Tasha. What's up, Tasha? So I guess at that time he's saying that. Anyways, I ain't gonna fast forward. Anyway, so he's like, I'm chilling with Tasha. What's up? How you doing, Tasha? What you doing, girl? Bitch, I called you. I said, no, you didn't call me, nigga. You didn't call me. I did, girl. You didn't get to the next time. They're making fun of me because at the time I had a sidekick. You need to get a next time. I said, yeah, nigga, I don't want no next time. I want my sidekick. I like my sidekick, right? So they're like, nah, you need to get to the next time. They're both making jokes. So my baby daddy and her are kind of the same, right? So he's like making jokes about her, me. Like, she's one of those friends that I notice I'm always the center of the jokes. Like, she always want to make jokes about me. She always whatever. But, you know, I don't give a damn, baby, because I don't care. I like myself. She was light-skinned. She had nice eyes. She had a nice body. I was skinny, and I had nice skin, long hair. My nails was always done. My gear was I had jeweled out, but I was very skinny. So people used to always try to make, like, me the center of the joke. Like, oh, you ain't got no boobs. You ain't got no butt. Blah, 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 blah. And y'all are all fat now. Y'all bodies are mad droopy now. No shade. All right, so, so I didn't say nothing, whatever. So I'm like, haha, shut up, bitch. We're going back and forth. She's like, all right, girl. And she's like, all right, I'll hit you. She was like, he played it off like, oh, you need the whatever, oh, whatever. Their little hood talk, right? So she go, yeah, I'll come over. I'll come swing by and get it. All right, cool. I'm not thinking nothing of it because that's my nigga. Then she calls me. We're talking. We're gossiping, whatever. So what I noticed about her was she would ask me about stuff, because I tell you, my baby daddy was a compulsive cheater. Like, my baby daddy used to cheat hard, heavy. So I used to be like, yo, at a point I'm like, yo, fuck that. Like, why am I gonna be faithful to this nigga if she gonna tell him, right? So there was this dude, oh, what is he called in the Storytime? Dang, I forgot his name. But whatever. There was this dude that I used to kind of talk back and forth with, because I kind of cheated on my baby daddy with him. Yeah, I did. And I think that's the first time I ever cheated, bro. And I did not, like, so my baby daddy ended up finding out I cheated on him with him, and I ended up telling him, because my baby daddy was cheating on me with everybody, like crazy, like cheating on me, like all the time. So I ended up telling him, because I felt like guilty, because he kept asking me like, oh, I know, but then I'm like, how does he know? Because my baby daddy used to have my password to my phones and stuff, but my baby daddy rarely goes to my phone. And the dude that I cheated on, we didn't really talk like that for real. Like, after we cheated, we smashed, and that was his stuff. Yo, that was the smallest stuff I ever seen in my life, right? So it was this man, which there for pouring me, like, oh, look at the little dicky. Like, it was so little, right? So I'm like, oh, how does he know? But every time, like, if I meet up with something, my baby daddy will happen to call. But then I'm telling shorty, like, my friend, what's going on? Like, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. My baby daddy, you know, whatever. So I guess, you know, she was telling him, like, oh, Tasha's doing this, Tasha's talking to this guy. And a lot of the guys that I was talking to, I didn't really like. After, like, little wee guy, I never cheated on my baby daddy after that. I never did it. Like, I couldn't. Like, even like when I started talking to, because there was a point me and my baby daddy weren't together no more, and I started talking to Tongue Ring again, because he was my prom date, and I started talking to Tongue Ring. I still didn't have the heart. Tongue Ring would tell you, I cried. Like, I didn't have the heart to do it to my baby daddy, even though he was cheating on me. Okay, so after that, whatever situation, he's like, you cheated on me. But mind you, yeah, we were dating, but we weren't dating for real. Whatever. All right, cool. You know. So we end up, she kind of end up, whatever. So at a point, I'm like, okay. I started kind of peeping. I think Drama was like, yo, I think, cause I told you, Drama ended up dating, like, talking to one of the dudes too. So she was like, I think you gotta check on Shorty. Like, Shorty's kind of telling everybody your business, whatever, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I'm like, because like a lot of the girls talk to homeboy, right? So like my baby daddy's boy. So my friends were low-key kind of around, like, because everybody fucked with somebody, right? Somebody. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So we end up like kind of chilling. We're chilling heavy. We're kind of talking. We're hanging out all the time, whatever. And I'm noticing, like, every time I do something, I go somewhere, my baby daddy will happen to call. Or if I'm hanging out with somebody, my baby daddy will happen to call. So then at a point, I kind of stopped telling her, because Drama was like, yo, I think she's like the informant. So Drama one time, and mind you, Drama's not a good friend either. All my friends are bad to me in a way, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever. So, but they all hated each other. Drama hated Aisha and Keisha. Keisha hated Drama and Aisha. And it was like all of them. They all just didn't like each other. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So we all end up like, whatever. So I started peeping. So my baby daddy at the time, he calls me. We all hanging out, right? So mind you, everybody's there. So she's the only girl there. Usually she come with friends or whatever. But that day, I started peeping. She's coming by herself a lot, right? So she's coming. She's like, oh, where you going? I said, I'm about to go to work. So I happen to sit there with them, right? So I sit there with them, and then I'm like looking at both of them for real, right? So my friend has a way she looks at you when she fucks somebody. She has this, like, you know, like my baby daddy used to be like, oh, you don't got bedroom eyes. That's what she has. She has these eyes, like she kind of lures you in. So him and her are looking at each other. My baby daddy has a way, mind you, I fuck my baby daddy. So I know my baby daddy wants some. When my baby daddy is fiending for it. So I'm like, he has a way she's looking. She has a way she's looking. So I know both of them. I know my friend for years, nigga, and I know him. You know what I'm saying? Because I fuck him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's happening? So they're looking at each other in a way. He's rolling the blunt. She's looking at him. And he's looking at her. And I'm looking at both of them. And his boy, I guess, peeped. So his boy went, and they both kind of stopped. Like, girl, she's like, bitch, where you going? Because I don't usually sit downstairs with them. So I'm like, okay, that's mad weird. Don't think nothing of it. Well, I do think something of it. But I said, yo, Tasha, watch, right? You got to play this shit smart with them. So, sorry, the AC came on. So I'm like chilling. I'm like, all right, I'm about to go. But yo, it bothered me, bro. So the next day, I'm sleeping with my baby daddy. And my baby daddy's like, you good? I said, yo, you ever Keisha? He's like, nah, why would you ask me that? Why would you ask that? And my baby daddy's not the type of guy, he gets defensive. Like, you know how niggas are like, yo, what the fuck? Nah, he ain't like that. He'll play it off. Like, nah, why? I already told you she fucked my boy. Why would I fuck her? That's nasty. Talking all this shit, right? So I said, okay, whatever. I went to sleep that night and I had a dream exactly how it went down. Yo, baby. If I tell you my discernment is not crazy, my discernment's not crazy. So I'm chilling, and in the dream, I'm chilling, right? And I'm heading to work, and my baby daddy and Shorty, but in the dream, she wasn't, like, it didn't really happen in that way. But in the dream, I'm on the phone with my friend, and my baby daddy's like, where you going? He said, hey, boo, where you going? I said, I'm going to work. He said, oh, you coming back tonight? I said, no, I'm not coming back tonight. He said, why not? You always come back. I said, nah, I want to go home and sleep in my bed. He said, oh, that's different. That's different. And my friend's like, oh, bitch, your girl, yeah, she wants to sleep in her bed. Da, 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 da. That's how she started. Okay, who gives a fuck? Da, da, da. I said, all right. I end up leaving, right? In the dream, and then I wake up in the dream and someone calls my phone in my dream and says, Tasha, the Moped and Keisha are effing as we speak. And baby, if I tell you that's exactly how it went down, baby, I'm gonna let you know. Part 2 is gonna come up of how I found out. How I found out and how it went down and what happened. What happened. Alright, baby, well, I hope you enjoyed this story time. Stay tuned for part 2, baby, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.